Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the after party where, though it is rainy and stormy outside, none of us have mythical waters flooding our schools, basements, ground floors, or upper floors. Hello, welcome.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Has everyone checked?
Ooh,
No.
Yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
This one was based on my own real life experience in that my apartment has a sewer kraken in it. So this is like my personal experience.
Did they charge you more for that?
No, it was I brought it from home.
Oh, good.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, thank you to Zoran Mamdani, new New York City mayor, who's allowing more sewer krakens into...
Fingers crossed, my
Jinx
guy.
us. Fingers crossed, okay? This comes out on election day. We have to push through until the polls close. Well, presuming that no krakens enter our basements over the course of this recording, we're here to answer all your questions about this wild arc of Join the Party. Beginning with a question here that I saw from Rafe, just kind of reminding us of something that has happened in the past that we perhaps have not touched on totally. What happened after Rowan wrecked all those home foundations in the Jaguar Warrior arc? The immediate story consequences seemed to fall on Heroes for Hire and Connor, but that was a hell of a lot of property damage. Did the school take responsibility and help with the fix-up? Do Jupiter's residents have access to a state-sponsored homeowner insurance policy covering school-related super damage? And did Rowan have any trepidation hearing that the mayor might be in attendance later in the school year?
My thought is I think a home insurance company went out of business that day. They're like, we can't pay all this out.
The wonderful thing about doing stuff on this podcast and making things up is that, like, it's just, like, kind of stuff in the background. Like, it is the fact that you're thinking about that when that, like, is just, like, an ancillary part to, like, the things that are going on in this particular episode is honestly wonderful, and just why writers are addicted to world building.
Yeah, true. They are. They so are.
My headcanon is that, just like in Florida, where they are starting to no longer insure for flood damage, I think it is.
Wild.
I think just no one has insurance in this town, and you're screwed.
This is what we talked about why we can't put teenage superheroes in charge of civic duties. Like, literally because of that. Yeah, take that, Brandon, from 6 episodes ago.
Wait, let me hold on. He's responding. He gives you a shrug emoji.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Brandon at all times is always just giving me a shrug emoji.
Yeah.
I think regarding the last question here from Rafe, Rowan has a lot to say to the mayor, and at this point is just fully in on, like, this is my thing, and if you are worried about my powers and how I'm using them, I think you have to kind of question and redesign your whole system versus the individual student trying desperately to save lives.
Yeah.
Fair.
Whether that attitude will result in good things for her, I think we have to see.
We'll see. Who can see?
Here's another question from Eepy Fella. After hearing the reaction to my multiverse question in the after party for elemental bombs, I'm not saying I think / want it to be a multiverse.
God.
I just think it's highly suspicious.
I think if we talk too much about the multiverse, Eric will explode.
There's no multiverse. There's literally none. I don't know what you're talking about.
There we go. See?
If you say it 3 times in the mirror, though, it does appear and suck you into it.
I think the fact that, like, even Peacemaker season 2 is doing the multiverse, like, now here we are in something that came out in 2025. I'm like, it's so tiring. I'm just so tired of it. I'm like, people need to stick to their consequences of their actions, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like comic books. You hear that comic books for the past 50 years?
Yeah, but that was just for, like, weird nerds who had 12 cents. like this is different.
Yeah.
We do have some good questions as well about the sort of, I call this the world building section, but like how specifically people with powers are managed and dealt with in Jupiter. So here's one from No Hugs, Just Bugs. The whole child cloud cover issue has me thinking about child protection in this society. Apart from Water's Edge, are there any institutions that identify and help kids with powers? Rowan made it to super school on her own. Crafted Connor got quote-unquote rescued through Heroes for Hire. But what happens to kids who can or won't attend Water's Edge? I've always imagined for myself that students who are sort of like powered students who sort of pass as mundane, who maybe like their powers aren't disruptive to their daily lives or like totally noticeable when they're kids, may just go through regular schooling and like use it on the down low or use it to help their, again, mundane careers. But I imagine there is a spectrum of poweredness where not everybody is sort of extreme enough that it's like, Jeremy, we can't keep doing this. Like, you can't keep being, you know, the person who sets everything on fire in the school gymnasium.
It always makes me think of how they kind of handled this in My Hero Academia, where they said, like, as soon as powers start emerging for kids, they go through like powers counseling, essentially, like how best to control your powers, how to handle situations without using your powers, what to do and who to talk to if your powers are causing problems. And I don't think we're at the point where our society has that yet, but I could see it being a situation that they provide later on through like public schools.
I also think that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Water's Edge is a school for people who want to be superheroes. And I assume not everyone wants to be a superhero, even if you have powers. So
I think that was the complicating factor of like it being a good school and also it being for superheroes.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you might go there just if you want to gain a better control of your powers, and you might not be like, this isn't what I want my career to be.
It's so funny you bring up My Hero Academia, Julia, because the reason why I like it so much is one, like, what is it? 80% of people have quirks now in My Hero Academia. So like they only changed society once like 80% of society changed. And also like just in Japan, like it's such a Japanese thing to only do something if it just concerns Japan, as opposed to something that is so American of us saying, fuck it. And superheroes have never been a metaphor for anything else. So I don't know what you're talking about. Don't think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't think about it.
Yeah, Eric, that it's so weird that The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay is now an opera at Lincoln Center, because certainly there's no metaphorical resonance.
No, not at all.
Also, I just want to say Connor was not rescued through Heroes for Hire. He was just, and he'd already worked there.
Very good point.
Nepoed. Yeah.
Nepo baby.
No, I wouldn't say Nepo. I think it was just like, a nice advantage. It was happy. It was all good, Yeah.
It's, and also like what happened to Kraft, I mean, is even a little bit more complicated. Like it was more that Emily Slaughter is a psycho mom and like put her in good school than like Heroes for Hire, like training her in any sort of way.
You're so right. She's a dance mom.
Like there are a lot of, I can only imagine, weird kids out there who do get like caught up in a initiative push forward by Heroes of Hire that don't go to Water's Edge. You know what I mean? Like the fact that Emily Slaughter said that this child was the age appropriate for me to make her my ward almost has nothing to do with like the fact where she was recovered.
Yeah. 100%.
Which is so weird. Which is just, the whole thing is ridiculous. The more we world build Kraft's home life, it just makes me sadder and sadder.
Yay! I did it.
Hooray! That's why I love. I think there's a question about this, but that's why I love not introducing Dr. Prometheus so much.
Yeah.
Because this is literally explicitly written in Masks, and especially for the. What is the name of your playbook, Julia?
The Scion.
The Scion is like you need the villain or like the parent to like loom large but not come in, and it's so much fun to do, honestly.
Yeah, I like him not showing up. It's more and more fun for me every time.
Well, following through the infrastructure of like child protection into the infrastructure of high school, there's also the question of what happens after that, which we are obviously explicitly addressing in this final project's arc. Here's a question from EP. Are supers allowed to pursue higher education? Do you have to be a hero or work in a menial job? Or can you go to Water's Edge and get a grasp on your powers, then just go on and get a degree? Might be I'm just a bit behind, but I've at least gotten the sense that hero work to some extent is the only option.
Do you ever hear from someone who gets like a Rhodes Scholarship? Or like, oh, hey, I work for the CIA.
I'm not that fancy. No.
Or it's like, I mean, you remember when we were at NYU, this shit came up all the time. Or like when every single person here went to Dubai. Like, or sorry, Abu Dhabi. But like,
and Dubai, you're right.
No, it was both. The Sheikh personally put Amanda through college.
And for a brief hike, Oman.
But it's like you hear someone get something from like the government and it's like, yeah, I got to get my PhD because I work for the CIA at the same time. Like sometimes it's just like the premise of White Collar or like other shows like that, but sometimes you hear about it in real life and you're like, how? I think that's what I'm trying to emphasize with the rankings and with like the quote unquote job draft that we've been talking about here, that like you can go to college, but I think people are very invested in you if you do really well. Like outside of being in like the top 15 or 20, it becomes like when you hear that someone got like a full ride to Harvard, you're like, how did you do that? And this is kind of the thing that I'm trying to recreate using the Gen V like ranking board to kind of facilitate all that.
Yeah, I mean, like it makes sense to me that powered people, even if they have powers, don't necessarily all have to become superheroes. And I also think that there are plenty of people who get powers who aren't necessarily inclined to be superheroes, right? Or supervillains for that matter. Sometimes someone just wants to be a math teacher and they can control fire, you know? It doesn't have to be, they don't have to go 2 and 2 together.
Real.
I think that's the character that sings our theme song.
It is.
It would be kind of wild to go to Water's Edge in which your grades are partially based on your abilities and powers and how you control them, and then just go get a math degree. Like, you should just go to normal school.
But maybe you also want to know how to control your fire powers before you end up teaching high school
math.
But
you're graded on them. You might as well just get like a separate tutor for your powers or something.
But like, if you don't care about the rankings, it doesn't matter.
Well, if you're trying to get into college, it matters,
well,
you know.
Brandon, this is how I understand like Catholic school is. Right? You're like, man, I sure did learn a bunch about Jesus alongside everything, but I guess I'm just gonna go to Dartmouth.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's a little bit like a magnet school where like you go to a special, you know, music or drama or science or like aeronautics, middle and high school. And then afterward, you're like, yeah, I'm okay. And then you get some other job.
Yeah.
Is that cheating to go to Catholic school and get good grades based on a book?
Brandon, can I tell you? The answer is yes. My dad went to Catholic school when he was in high school because Mercyhurst Prep was the only good high school in Erie, Pennsylvania.
It's crazy.
And he just got to not go to all of the Christian classes. So the answer is yes, Brandon. It is cheating.
It'd be sick to like go to like a Great Gatsby school just based on the Great Gatsby book.
Right?
Oh, I thought you meant time traveled in the 1920s.
Yeah.
Here's a follow-up question from No Hugs Just Bugs. Follow-up, do you think there are colleges specifically for superheroes or superhero-specific degrees? I love the idea of a college kid like casually double majoring in business and post-apocalyptic rescue.
I also think that, like, you know, there might be business of superheroing, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say that too, yeah.
Talk about a class I want to take.
I think there'd be lots of degrees in like both adjacent professions, but also like research into superheroing is probably a thing too.
Oh, I just thought of the phrase ethics of mad science.
Yeah.
And I think that's so funny.
Yeah, 401, baby.
That's Camp-Paign too.
These are all classes that I was trying to put in the high school. I think the other thing is that like Water's Edge might be the most developed powered thing, at least in the area, because I always thought that like Superhero-dom would be regionalized to Lake Town City from the stuff that we talked about in Camp-Paign 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like eventually, yes, like if we kind of followed the path of where the boys are, right? It's like, well, we learned about the boys and now there's the spinoff. Like if we end up developing and keep going from now, but like I'm not exactly sure. That's why I keep just putting stuff into the high school and why we're doing this at a high school and not a college or whatever.
I mean, we won't also, like, we're probably not going to get a chance to explore the college experience anyway. So, like, it makes more sense for you to front load them into the high school so that we get to talk about them.
Is there a pun on Good Will Hunting as a super pun? Good Will Hunting was the college movie, right?
It is, it is a college movie. You are correct.
Brandon, how do you like these apples? I don't. Ew.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Let's get into these episodes because there was so much plot here to talk about, beginning with Final Projects 2, where we pick up after that amazing cliffhanger to talk to Dr. Rom about what the hell is happening with the Cloud Cover gang. Julia, Brandon, where did you land about believing Dr. Rom's story here? And specifically for me, the thing that rankled the most is like his brush off that the school is handling the missing students, which I can't believe.
Yeah, he's a liar.
You gonna kill him, Umby? You gonna murder him?
No, I don't murder liars. I just
sorry. Only one player here has murdered a person. So let's get off of Brandon for a second. Yes, he beat up a fridge teacher, but only one person disappeared another person in game.
It's true. That is true.
And it's Julia.
It was
How
me.
dare you?
That was a scene cut for time.
No.
Yeah, the ratings board said, yeah, Julia's not allowed to go into the game and kill someone.
Fair.
Not allowed.
Fair enough.
She's not allowed to Freddy Krueger herself into the podcast.
Cool.
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
Be cool if I could, though. Just saying.
Yeah. Can we talk about, I want to talk about something very quickly for a second. Do you want to know what I thought this arc was going to be about?
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
That I wrote to when I was writing sessions 1 and 2?
I would like
What
that.
I
yes.
was writing about, which something that we totally did not explore, was that Dr. Rom felt bad for people that the system has failed, and he was trying to repair his relationship with them the entire time.
Oh.
And given what we know about his backstory, too, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly.
See, Eric, you just had to dangle like a girlfriend or a partner or just some, like maybe his car had like an intriguing bumper sticker on it. And then we would have been like, gotta figure out what this guy's up to.
No, instead, Julia had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys, you wanted to do other stuff, but like with the things that I did about the backstory, obviously, that was the thing that was planned. And then Cloud Cover, Mr. Sizzle, and Wraith were all things about like these people have been failed because the speaking about the conversation we just had, the institution didn't really help them and they're in bad positions. So I'm going to make sure at the end of the semester to try to make up for things because I've been feeling really bad as a teacher and as a person because of stuff that's been going on. And especially in regards to not helping out. Like how much are we actually trying to find Team Cast and Hedgehogio? Team Cast, the answer is 0, and Hedgehogio, because the U.S. government said it's fine. And Hedgehogio, like we already know, we kind of have a sense of what happened to him.
What about Flaming Skull Guy?
Oh, and Flaming Skull Guy, right,
Yeah.
right.
Poor Flaming Skull Guy.
You're telling, so he was doing this sort of
Brandon's so confused by this.
No, he was just doing it himself. He wasn't doing it. This is just like, I have seen this stuff that's been going on this semester has made me, Dr. Rom, feel bad.
My question was more about the bridge. So is he meeting people? Is his new office under the bridge, or were the Cloud people just living under a bridge?
No, Cloud Cover said, hey, you idiot, meet us under a bridge, and we're also going to take your wallet. It was real like Dr. Rom trying to do a nice thing and then people like throwing it back in his face was how I demonstrated Cloud Cover, which is what he was telling the truth when he was like, I came down here and they took my wallet. Like 100% true.
I don't know. We didn't pierce the mask, so I don't know if I can believe you.
Didn't Julia pierce the mask?
I don't know, probably.
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
Brandon, speaking of the bridge, a question from Rafe. When the group is outside by the bridge, what is the ambient noise that sounds kind of like an organ? On my first listen, it sounded like an alert or cue sound more than ambiance, but then when I re-listened, I heard it after the gang left the pizza place, so I'm wondering if it's part of the traffic noise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go
I
back
think
and
it's
look,
just
but
a horn honk, but like
I
in the
assume
distance.
it's probably just a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Nice.
a big truck horn.
Here's a inside look is that nobody makes ambiance tracks that are like 20, 30 minutes long.
So you just have to keep looping and it sucks.
So you gotta loop.
Mhm.
And sometimes there's a little sound inside the loop that you have to cut out because it's if you hear it every time like that, you would know it's a loop. And I just didn't notice that one. So you get the golden egg.
Not the
What's in
golden
it?
egg.
Your
Yolk.
wildest dreams. It's yolk.
I said yolk, but okay, milk is also bad.
Milk is very good though. I like milk.
Milk is bad.
I was going to say $8, and I'm glad there's not $8 and a yolk in there. And milk. We're on our way to making a very expensive cake.
Yeah, that's like a custard pie with $1 in it. With Afikoman or something. Okay, here's a question from Penguin. Why is there a child with super speed in a criminal gang? Dr. Ram is right. Somebody has to help that poor kid.
Because they're all cousins. They're all cousins.
And this child is
the youngest
in
cousin.
danger.
It's a family trade.
You never get to hang out with your older cousins, and while they do cool stuff that they probably shouldn't be letting you come along with.
Julia, no, I didn't, but I'm living that fantasy in this episode where, of course, we also get to cosplay as hench people and go with Kraft not only to rob Dr. Molecule's 70s style pad and get that hard light containment device.
Borrow, not rob.
Okay, borrow without permission, and also attend the world's craziest poker game. Julia, whence and wherefore?
Winston, wherefore?
I knew since the poker game was introduced that Kraft was going to go to that at some point. And then when the concept of the final projects was introduced, I was like, and the conversation that Kraft had with Dr. Rom, I was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to prove once and for all, Kraft not a villain. We're going to catch one of the big villains.
Bring him in.
Eric, did you and Julia talk about this, or did you kind of have to world build on the fly?
World build on the fly. That's why I just kind of let Julia do what she does. Why Julia's the set it and forget it player that I have.
Mhm.
And then that's what happens when a doctor turns into a wasp.
Yeah. but like also, I mean, you guys kept asking, like, Julia, why are you trying to like, take a math class about game theory? Julia, why did Kraft learn close-up magic? And it was all building to this.
No, I knew that.
I knew.
We knew what you were
preparing.
We knew what you were doing. We were just making fun of you.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
There's always a why with Julia.
It's gotta be something.
Exactly. Just let Julia do stuff.
Just
I'm
let
like,
me cook.
that's why I'm like, yeah, if poker comes up, if game theory comes up, take +1.
Great.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll come up later.
I'm like a stock, you just let me simmer
Yeah.
until the whole meal's ready.
This is why we ended up having a whole conversation, me and Brandon, with Brandon being like, so this doctor's a wasp? I'm like, yeah, because I don't have any notes for this. That's why.
He's a wasp. That's it. End of statement.
It wasn't that in the world, in the fiction, that it was weird to have a doctor who got turned into a wasp. It was that your brain said, I have no notes, so let me turn a doctor into a wasp. That just broke me.
Brandon, okay, let me walk you through what I had to do.
Please.
Julia's like, no, we're doing this now. And because we're playing a game, I have to set up stakes and conflict, right? So it's like, okay, you guys already dealt with the guard in the front. That was totally fine. Well, there has to be something else to demonstrate that there's a problem here that you can't just sneak. Right? And it's not really an issue about whether or not they recognize you, which is something I figured out, which is why I played out like obstructor, constructor, looking at all of you funny. The whole thing with Maze Myers, the whole thing with the ooze, we're like, look at these teenage idiots. It's fine. I think we talked about that of like, it would be so weird if like a bunch of 16-year-olds showed up to your mob poker game. You know what I mean? And that's why none of them did anything, right? So I'm like, okay, there needs to be some sort of check. And I don't mean that in Dungeons & Dragons way, like in a game mechanic sort of narrative way of like, there needs to be a piece of conflict before they go into the poker game. And there should be someone who is asking for coats, etc., and trying to take guns and weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which happens in so many different like action movies and mob movies and crime movies, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but it's weird, and these are the mad scientists, so there's definitely a really smart guy. And I'm like, okay, I need an NPC who is working the coat desk. It's a doctor who got turned into a wasp.
Yeah.
Like,
That makes
I have
sense.
to do all those things, and the last thing is, okay, I need an NPC doctor who got turned into a wasp.
Yeah, all that makes sense. It's the last section where I need to like take a skeletal saw and burrow into your brain to figure out where the connection is.
Let me say this one more time. You know, at the end of a marathon where like the runners look ridiculous trying to just get to the end of the marathon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my brain is at the end of that entire thing I just described to you. Where like I'm like,
And it's a
my
wasp.
arms are whinging. I can't run straight anymore. My legs are shaking. I'm like, okay, here's what I need. How am I gonna making them fun is me trying to cross the finish line at the end. And it's like, okay, doctor who got turned into a wasp. But then I can refine through conversation where it's like, no, this is a wasp who is a doctor who still has all of his mental faculties and Kraft knows them.
Yeah.
Boom.
Mhm.
There we go.
It's just that he's a wasp now.
Yes, it's just that he's a wasp. No other difference. Because like we had all the other different types of doctors from the previous arc. So it's like, I have to do something different.
Of course.
By the way, folks, I have walked precisely 1 5K, and so I now am an expert and can tell you that what you do is you jog the last 100 yards after walking the preceding 5K.
So you look cool?
You are jogging for the final photo, and you look great.
And you look awesome.
Julia, where did the idea to trigger the hard light containment device after throwing the poker game come from? Was that your plan all along when like conceiving of the device, going to take it, and then attending this?
Yes, 100%. Because I was like, I need to think of a way that this ooze won't be able to easily escape. And having a essentially MacGuffin made the most sense to me.
It's really good.
Yeah. You needed a Pokeball?
I needed a Pokeball.
You know, I can't really do anything about the stuff that Julia was doing because like that's not how masks work. It's like if you do it, you do it. And it was fun for me that like you were able to do all that thing, and then in episode 3, in part 3, it's like, let's see if it worked.
Yeah. I was nervous.
Yeah, this felt to me, Eric, like the first time a player was like, oh, so due to my playbook, I fixed the scenario. Like how did it feel for you in the moment when that went down?
I mean, it's fine. I'm used to, I think I'm just more used to it playing masks. I think we talked about this before when it was like Masks in Powered by the Apocalypse games are less of games and more like storytelling devices. And it's not like Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like, I don't need to come up with checks for you. And like, I don't need to like roll. You know, if this was D&D, I'd be rolling like every quote unquote 12 hours to see if the ooze busted out. You know what I mean? And then I'd have to make a DC and then I'd have to figure all that out. But it's like, you do it. And then everything else that happened in the arc happened. Like, it's just a shifting of my brain power. Like, I need to figure out what happens next in the story, not about trying to see if the thing you did continues to stay.
Right.
Right on. Well, it did, in fact, continue to stay, at least for a bit, because getting into episode 23 with Final Projects 3, ooze remains contained in the device. A person who is not particularly contained in his attitude or responsibilities, wordsmith. Brandon and Julia, I don't know about you guys, but I was astonished when Wordsmith was like, oh, yeah, no, I'll just keep that in your dorm and we'll deal with it. After being like, get that shit out of here, I'm scared. Like, that's your job. You're the adult. What the hell?
Yeah. It was not, as you could tell probably from the recording, I wasn't happy. Kraft wasn't happy. What the fuck was happening there?
I mean, what do you think? Wordsmith, as an adult, said something, and the three of you yelled at him. So he's like, okay, I guess we're going to do a second option I'm not as happy about.
But I guess I don't understand why his immediate reaction to this was not, I'll handle this because I'm the adult. It was, okay, take this away from me.
Yeah. I think the wonderful part of Masks as a game, or as you say, Eric, as a storytelling device, and the story that we are telling is like, this is a point where you are saying like, wait, those adults are not too different from me. Wait, I'm taking on some responsibility and also still have to give up autonomy when I perhaps don't want to. Like, this is the time. This is the setup where we get to ask ourselves, what makes that person so different from me? And if I have failings that I don't feel great about, they must as well. And so that to me, and I think to Rowan as well, was a real moment of like, what do you mean you don't leap into action and improve yourself to help somebody else who is in a crisis?
Yeah.
Are we talking about this as like us in the moment, or now that the arc is over?
I think I still both. Like, I still don't feel like I have a real explanation as to why Wordsmith's immediate reaction to this was, okay, take this back to your dorm or get it away from us.
No, it wasn't. Brandon, go.
That wasn't his immediate reaction, yeah. His immediate reaction was like, basically, I'll handle it, like, go away. But then Connor was like, and I still am hesitant about this, was like, he's being weird. He doesn't want to set up a trap to catch the bad guy.
Right.
That's odd. So maybe I don't trust him to take this bad guy away. Maybe something's going on.
You all called Wordsmith on his values, so he's like, okay, fine, let's figure out something else. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And we now know that the reason why Wordsmith said, get this out of here, is because it gave Fatberg justification to fuck shit up.
Yeah, that sure did happen, didn't it?
I mean, it is correct that is the turn of events that occurred and was predicted. But I still don't know, even though I'm not like harping on this because I think Wordsmith is a good guy, but like, I still don't know why a good guy, quote unquote good guy, who has a murder bird full of villains, why he wouldn't take an opportunity to catch a big one by using the ooze as bait, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also like surprised he doesn't have like a secret base or something like that isn't the school that he could have transported the ooze to or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he might have. I don't know.
The hard light containment device.
Of course, naturally.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Wordsmith had to give up a bunch of this stuff because he then became the principal. Like, there's a lot of things that you just do or do not exist just because of like circumstances. Like, I know this is fiction, but it's like he doesn't have a lab because he doesn't, because he's the principal of the school and he thinks the school is good enough. Like, that could just be the answer. In my head, Wordsmith and Fatberg had a detente the entire time of like, don't come to the school because then I'm not going to mess with you and I'm going to keep things contained and whatever. And that's a very like adult thing. I think we've talked about a lot of like how this is like teenagers realizing that adults do stuff you don't like all of the time. And like, there are things that adults do. Like, when you first learn about what's happening in the Middle East, you're like, what? Why? What?
Surely someone knew this was not going to end well.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we did it anyway. And I think I think Wordsmith and Fatberg kind of left well enough alone, and bringing the ooze to the school was justification to let Fatberg do shit, which is also related to stuff with Obstructor Constructor being at the school and you two bringing him there, and that being weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you wouldn't have known that, but you guys were too busy... I'm not saying this accusingly, but like you guys were too busy being annoyed at Wordsmith and shocked that he wasn't doing enough to kind of like interrogate that and get any information. Also, that's information that Wordsmith probably didn't want to tell you.
Yeah, as you were saying, I think it's just too nuanced for a teenager to understand. Like,
absolutely, 100%. But that's what I was thinking as this whole thing shook out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I told them what I wanted. The three of them yelled at me and called me like a fascist. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna bunk down in my office instead and figure it out.
We did not call him a fascist.
I know, but you know.
You know what I mean?
Like, the three of you boomered Wordsmith, and he's like, okay, fine.
We did.
I guess we're just going to be in shifts, and I'm sleeping on a cot with some students now. Great.
Sad thing is, if this is 2030X, he's probably just an elder millennial. It's probably not that old, much older than us.
Oof.
He's got plants everywhere at his office.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This did, though, lead to one of my favorite tropes in this podcast, which is each of us going through the same trial, essentially, and having our own moments alone in Wordsmith's office with the book. We know how that turned out for Rowan, but we had a question here. Mike brings up a great point. The ooze taking kids to poker night is obviously crazy.
But also, it wasn't his kids. It was just parts of him.
True.
I made that joke and Eric didn't like it, so I made it again.
Glass.
Such an asshole.
How do we know, Mike asks, that the ooze that Kraft captured is the full form and there isn't a bigger one hiding somewhere else?
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
We don't.
I feel like maybe Eric would have mentioned if the ooze seemed smaller or bigger than the last time we saw it in any of the capacities that we mentioned, but
it's also entirely possible that this entire game we've only seen
part of it. Yeah.
a 16th of it.
Yeah.
And there's a big ooze somewhere else.
Like the blob.
That's scary.
I can say one of two things. One is that would be fun in comic book rules, but at the same time, like, I'm not, like, I wouldn't have been like, hey, Julia, fuck you and your 10 episodes of planning.
Thanks.
Turns out this was the ooze's toe.
Yay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not gonna undercut what Julia's saying, but it's entirely possible that, like, that's not the full ooze. For sure.
Yeah.
Especially because we've seen it divide itself. There's a piece. And remember, there's been a piece of the ooze in the school the entire time.
Yeah, but we don't know about that.
Right, but that's also the thing of why Wordsmith also wanted the ooze to be gone and not more in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why, I guess, like, I just more want to say, like, I've known this the whole time, and, like, that's why Wordsmith reacted like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more what, like, I feel justified in his choices, even though you boomered him.
Returning to that, ZTC asked on Instagram, why did Wordsmith's book not acknowledge Connor as another wordsmith? Brandon, what was your read on that situation?
Well, my player read is that there's like a power level thing where like Rowan is way more powerful than Connor is. But
You're not wrong.
Probably, but in universe, I don't know what Connor would think. I mean, Connor didn't know, first of all, so like it wouldn't seem odd to him. But yeah, I don't know. I think you would just assume that like it's a strain of power / magic that like just, you know, has been handed down and is only in some people's DNA, and, you know, like it's like a thing. I don't know, it's magic, you know. I don't know, who knows.
No, magic.
I think you're looking at this backwards, where it's more like
I think you're looking at it backwards.
No, I think you're undercutting yourself in that you rolled a 3, so that's why there is a power level cap in my head on why you got spit out. Like that's, it's more like if you had rolled better, you would have maybe done the same thing. But like because you didn't, remember, dice are always the whims of fate, and then we need to backfill why the numbers on the dice are so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if you had rolled a 10, maybe you'd become wordsmith, and then Rowan would be like, "Wait, I got offered it," and then Connor would have been like, loser." Like,
too bad.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. Like that's entirely something that could have happened, but it's like that's why we roll the dice instead of just sitting around a campfire telling stories.
Yeah.
Waffle wants to know, are all superpowers little characters like Vordy Lynn? Do they know each other? Can they communicate with each other? I was not expecting a second Voidy Lynn situation. This was very jarring.
What was the second Voidy Lynn situation?
The Wordsmith's book.
Oh! I see. Yes.
No, that was like that was just like a manifestation of having to have a conversation with a person in the inside of the book.
Eric, I'm so sorry to correct you, but when I do it, it's an Amanda festation. So you know.
Unsubscribed. Operator. Representative.
I assumed it was sort of because Voidy Lynn existed, and that's sort of how Rowan's powers manifested. That like the book sort of like took that cue
It's an interesting
from
idea.
Rowan.
I think Rowan's the
and
common
used that
denominator here.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Like if I had done it, I mean, I know maybe it would have in reality, but like in fiction, like if I had talked to the book wouldn't have showed up as a book to me. It would have been like, it was text on a page or something.
Ooh, or text on your skin.
Text on my skin.
Ooh, that could have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a teleprompter.
Yeah, like teleprompter.
Penguin wants to know, how old is this ooze? Average Bear having a failed superhero team is the most Average Bear thing ever, as the Eric Silver cinematic universe gets another entrant.
ECU, but no multiverse.
That we know of.
No multiverse. The not Average Bear. Average Bear was born when a bunch of VC guys got together and said, what if there was a website?
As they often do.
As they often do. The ooze is old. I think that was something, Fatberg and the ooze being like creatures and not people, I think was important because like, it's very much like you guys are teenagers, human teenagers. There are things larger and bigger than yourself that you can't fathom. And having that's what the villains are representative as was important to me.
That's interesting because I assumed Fatberg was a person and not a creature. So.
Well, I mean, he's a literal Fatberg.
Yeah, but
I meant like, no, Julia, that's a very good point. I guess I meant like they're monstrous in that and therefore are not humanoid.
Gotcha.
Or
Cool.
humans as the whole thing. I mean, that's the whole Rick Powers situation, right? That
Right.
like you are a human with superpowers, not like a superpowered entity. Even Connor, human with superpowers, no matter what he looks like. I mean, that's the entire tension of that playbook.
Yeah.
Would you say that he's a primordial ooze, Eric?
Representative. Zero.
Zero.
I'm just going to swear a bunch.
Stop.
I'm going to swear a bunch.
I'm sorry. No representative is available. You have me to talk to.
The girl from Camp-Paign, you can't need to wait on hold for 20 more
Okay,
minutes.
guys, hold it right there because I'm going to run into the kitchen and grab us a refill of our puffed Cheez-Its
Ooh.
filled with queso.
Oh my
How?
God. Sorry, I just had a heart attack.
That gets so soggy in the bag.
No.
Needed more testing.
You see, Eric, this is Rachel Ray's 20-minute meals is you buy the puffed Cheetos and then you inject it with queso to serve. A la Minmar.
Rachel Ray is such a freak.
Yeah.
I would love at a party to just put a syringe on a table next to a bowl of queso with puffed Cheez-Its and be like, you get to fill it yourself.
Brandon, that is literally so you-coded in real life.
The fact that you and Lauren haven't done that is insane.
I'm a little disappointed. You're right.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own needles, so there's no needle sharing.
Be right back.
Hey, it's Brandon. Thank you and welcome to our newest patrons, Stephanius and Shane. We hope you're enjoying your patron-only benefits, the wholesome Discord, bi-weekly party planning, merch discount, and ad-free episodes. Join us today at patreon.com/jointhepartypod. Multitude, our podcast collective, is chock full of great podcasts for you to enjoy, like this one. Spirits is a history and comedy podcast focused on everything folklore, mythology, and the occult, told through the lens of feminism, queerness, and modern adulthood. Every week, mythology buff Julia and her childhood best friend Amanda, I don't know, you might know those two, get together to learn about a different story from mythology and folklore over drinks. That's everything from the mythological origins of major franchises like Lord of the Rings and Wonder Woman, to modern urban legends, to a roundup of werewolf stories from around the world. Start listening with any of the 450 plus episodes, that's right, 450 episodes, they've released over the last 9 years. There's so much to enjoy, whether you're here for the analysis of mental health and mythology or creepy modern ghost stories. Dive in at spiritspodcast.com or search for Spirits wherever you download your podcasts. We're sponsored this week by Uncommon Goods. The holidays sneak up fast, but it's not too early to get your shopping done and actually have fun with it. Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful, with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. Many are crafted by independent artists and small businesses, and because they're made in small batches, the best finds can sell out fast. So Uncommon Goods was kind enough to give us a little bit of a gift card so we could check out some products there. And I've gotten a couple things for my garden now. I've gotten little stone ghosts that are stones that are polished and then they have little faces drilled out of them. And I got a little wooden mushroom little guy animal hamster looking thing. And they're all out there protecting my garden and I love them. And every time I go out to do garden work, I see them and I say hello and they say hello back. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, from moms to dads to kids and teens, from book lovers, history buffs, and diehard football fans, to foodies, mixologists, and avid gardeners. You'll find thousands of new gift ideas you won't find anywhere else. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/jointheparty. That's uncommongoods.com/jointheparty for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
All right, folks, we are back. And after our fateful evening watching the hard light containment device, watching the ooze, perhaps touching a font of power that Wordsmith was not particularly excited that Rowan touched and read and looked through, we wake up to a morning of real tension and action and events. There is no post sleepover, French toast breakfast or something. We really get dumped into it.
Literally.
Yeah. So
Nice. Hey, Julia. Hey, Brandon, shut up. Julia. Nice. Good job. Nice.
Thanks.
There are no operators available.
Operator, representative.
I don't like that the AI laughs.
yeah, me neither.
This is what we mean by looping. They're just doing the same sound effect over and over again. I
did get an AI on I forgot what I was calling, but I was calling something the other day and I got an AI voice that was not like a robot voice that we're used to, but someone trained to chat GPT or whatever to have a human voice and talk casually. And it sucked so much, and I felt so bad being fuck off, let me talk to a human, because it sounded like I was saying that to a person.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a job interview where the interviewer is AI?
No.
Shit sucks, man. It's really weird.
With a image and everything? Or just
No, not with an image, but they ask follow-up questions on the thing you're saying, and they're this sucks. It's and you're just you're talking in a dark room, but it's there's just a PA system on the in the corner of an empty room you're in.
That sounds like Severance.
It is.
I, for one, am very disappointed at how my roles went in this episode. I feel like I had great ideas. Trying to do a 1-2 punch with craft would have been so effective to freeze those pipes and stop the flood. It did not happen.
It was tough. It was a tough one out there.
Yeah.
It happens.
The roles were tough for Amanda's out there.
It's just such a classic thing for me to roll so well and you two to roll so poorly. And
we're all getting tired of it.
We can't change the fates, the whims. It's just reality and what is always happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True.
Well, Brandon, maybe a little bit of your luck will run off on me.
Maybe.
Got to spread that wealth.
So I'm looking at my notes, and the school is destroyed, and the sewer kraken was inflamed with methane flames. Is that?
I don't remember that happening.
No, I don't think that happened. Normal regular thing.
Normal day.
Yeah.
I, for one, didn't realize, though Julia's summary of the episode reminded me, that Rowan's powers created the tiny water squids in the cafeteria. Is that true?
Yeah, that did happen.
I missed that the first time around.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Rowan's powers, because she misfired so badly, created the tiny
Oh.
water squids that showed up in the cafeteria.
Now I've listened to this episode at least twice, and I didn't get that either.
They didn't create them, but the role created problems in other places, right?
Oh,
Got
okay.
it.
It's like you spend so much time focusing on the water problem in here that there is a problem somewhere else in the school,
Okay.
which created the tiny water squid.
My notes were inaccurate then.
I mean, it's, Rowan didn't. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was more like the cause and effect of the role than like little gravity powers dealing with it.
Gotcha.
That did, though, give me an excuse, and therefore all of us an excuse, to encounter Mrs. Jacobowitz, about whom I need to know everything, please, right now.
I love Mrs. Jacobowitz. She's the best.
In my head, the milk cow, and Mr. Kobowitz are like a duo.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
In my head, they're like Hades 2 NPCs.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Like you run into them while you're like the way that when you run in. No, I'm not going to spoil this, but you run into characters through from Greek mythology throughout these runs.
Wow,
and
way
then
to
they,
spoil it. Greek mythology.
Boo! Unsubscribe, representative. And she felt like, oh, it's like you were running through the school, and now like Mrs. Jacobowitz like gives you like a runic pact, and the cow is right there.
Very good.
I think that was also emphasizing that like Rowan, you were like singularly focused on like your goal, and you couldn't really see outside yourself.
Yes.
That like other people could help you and were powerful, especially because this was right after you obliterated Obstructor Constructor. So it was like, Rowan, you don't have to do this by yourself. Other people literally are more experienced than you, and you need to get your head out of your ass. I mean, I think that literally what Miss Jacobowitz said to you when shifting your labels.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, before you respond to that, Amanda, I do just need to say, in my head, Mr. Kobowitz was using the soft serve from the cow to write ruins on the ground. Now you can continue.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Wait, so one teat is chocolate milk, one teat is milk, and one teat is soft serve?
It's yes.
Yeah, it was
I
a
think
soft
that's
serve
what we
swirl.
said. Soft serve swirl, yeah.
And all the teats are arcana. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Just want to be clear. Gonna try to eject that image from my brain. On we go. Yeah, I did kind of skip over the part where Rowan killed a character. This felt to me like the natural conclusion to
Of his life.
threatening everything Rowan holds dear. But Casey asks a really interesting question. Rowan broke a big masks taboo that's talked about in the book. How do you guys expect a hero / in training killing Obstructor Constructor to affect the future of the campaign? I know we haven't had time to calm down and think it through, but how do you think Kraft and Connor will handle that information?
Is there a big taboo in the book about not killing NPCs? I didn't read that part.
I think you're not really supposed to, but I kind of let Rowan do it because Rowan's
Because
the
it was
Nova,
cool as fuck.
and it was cool as fuck, and the Nova is powerful and has powers beyond their control.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
disappearing Obstructor Constructor felt good. I also probably wouldn't have done it if like Kraft and Connor were standing there.
I don't think Rowan would have done it if they were standing there.
I don't know if I would have I think it would have been a bigger deal if Rowan had done it in front of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that it wouldn't have made sense for you to allow that for either Kraft or Connor. It makes
absolutely
the
not.
most storytelling sense for it to be Rowan.
Yeah.
100%. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if because we know obviously by the end of this episode that the school is no longer safe to hold students and is closed kind of indefinitely. But is there infrastructure to punish students? Is this like a disaster where you kind of got through it and then we pick up the pieces later and don't worry too much about what happened? Because Connor also, in service of something good, did something destructive, killing walls and not beings. So bit different, do you have to say. But lots of people caused lots of damage or maybe didn't do things they should have done. And I have no idea what the sort of reconciliation plan is going to be for that.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
point.
curious to see. She could just hide it. Because we don't know yet, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
We don't know.
No.
I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
kind of happened.
TJ asked, I understand there's no alternate timeline, but if there were, is there any universe in which Connor crashes through the Kraken and says, holy shit?
I also want to point out that TJ wrote crappin'. And I'm mad that none of us thought of that
Shit,
pun.
you're right.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I did Google that to see if it was some reference that I was missing.
It's crap and
It's really good.
If you had rolled well, you 100% would have ran through the Kraken. It would have been sick.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good pun, TJ. So I give you you could talk to Representative if you'd like to.
good.
But
No,
no one else can. Yeah.
Jeez, fine. All I did was create a doctor who's a wasp. Fine, not recognized in my time.
The doctor was a person wasp.
Julia, what was your experience of that fight? Because Kraft, did what she said she would, which was really helpful and was actually very helpful in the fight, sending the Kraken and Mr. Sizzle to the auxiliary gym with your tornado, making sure they weren't kind of removed from the main campus. What were your thoughts and feelings as all this went down?
I think it was just Kraft wanted to solve the problem, and in this case, there was a somewhat clear way of ending the conflict by cutting off the water and everything like that. So I think that was just like my main focus, and letting everyone else figure out what their shit was. I was like, we just have to do the thing. We could do a bunch of other stuff, but it's going to take too long. We just got to do the thing.
It is very Kraft to be like, deal with your shit. I'm going to get mine done.
Yeah.
Here is a question from Penguin. Are there plans in place for Dr. Prometheus's inevitable appearance? I've been waiting for him to show up since like episode 1, and there have been a couple of moments where I thought it was going to happen. Most recently, the poker night. But with this much of a wait, I'm excited for it to be awesome. Now, Eric, I know you mentioned that the sort of looming of the figure is an important part here. But do you think it's important for us to meet the figure at some point in this story?
I mean, I'd like to. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Is he going to bring some sort of metaphorical fire to us at some point?
What is that a reference to?
Have you heard of Roman mythology?
Oh,
Or
you mean like
Greek?
Alien Prometheus?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't watch horror movies, Brandon. I don't know what you're talking about.
Greek mythology is the horror movies of mythology. You're right.
Mm.
All right, folks, let's close it out with some fun character questions from the audience. Here is one from Soup Dumpling. What is your favorite character voice, PC or NPC, so far this season? Mine is Connor as an evil minion. It's a very good one.
Mine is the earworms of Rowan saying certain things that for me sound normal, and then Brandon's like, what? What happened? What's up?
It makes Amanda so mad too when I do it. It's so funny.
That's what you get when we have the most Jews per capita on any Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
True. Very true.
The other day on a Spirits episode, I said the phrase quarter water, which is like a
Quarter
New
water.
York thing for like, there's like quarter waters, like you get waters for a quarter. And I just like, I said it and I was like, I need to take a lap. I need to just myself take a lap because I said quarter water. And I was like, oh no.
Quarter water.
Yeah.
I'll also say I love the wordsmith voice. It's just very funny.
That one's fun. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not that it's just a good voice. It's just like it's also an interesting like mechanic. It's great.
It's so cinematic. Like from the first moments of the campaign, seeing Wordsmith like in the sewer make a word for the first time and then transition to being principal mode. Like it is a really good one.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've had some interesting times trying to, in this arc specifically, of him trying to talk to all of you while like repressing his superhero voice. I think it's been a really interesting challenge.
Fascinating.
I also just want to say, anyone who watched the TV show Good Eats with Alton Brown,
Oh yeah.
the voice I'm trying to do is the sort of basement dwelling. I don't even know what you call it, but like there's an NPC or a character in the Good Eats where he's like a sort of hunchback in the basement, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Man, I wonder if kids, Gen Z, chime in. Do you know about Alton Brown's Good Eats? Because that shit's unhinged, and I think you would enjoy it.
True.
It explains a lot about my personality if you've watched
Really
it.
I think we
does.
discussed this on the show before, but there was a moment where Alton Brown and Anthony Bourdain switched bodies.
Yes, this is my original unhinged theory.
Right, yeah. But now that Anthony Bourdain has passed on, like Alton Brown is just a freak now.
Yeah.
With no counterpoint.
Yes.
He has no foil, no literary
No foil.
foil.
I would argue that Kristen Kish has entered the timeline and taken over some of the Riz, some of the suiting, some of the culinary bad boy. Like there was a bit of a schism. I'll work on this, folks. Expect my monograph in 2027.
Gotcha.
Isn't it crazy that Brooke Williamson and Bobby Flay are dating?
Dude, you
Isn't that crazy?
literally can't get me started on this because we will be here all day.
Bobby Flay and who?
Brooke Williamson.
I can't. No, we can't. We can't do this. I didn't know that, but I need to move on from it because otherwise it's going to consume me.
Julia.
It's like once Brooke Williamson passed a level of plastic surgery and then she started dating Bobby Flay, it's a real bummer.
Folks, we're recording this a day before Halloween, and we have a very important question here from Tanky Doodle Dandy. I know we are past Halloween in our timeline in the story, but how do we think the team would do going through a haunted house together? Who would walk in front and back? What would be everybody's favorite or least favorite parts? Who would accidentally almost punch one of the actors, etc.? NPCs can come too if you want.
That's the first thing I was going to say is I don't know that they do haunted houses because if you have superpowers and you scare someone, that's a bad recipe.
Yeah.
So let's assume, okay, Rowan obviously would be the person who's a fight in the fight or flight scare. Also, you should always do haunted houses as long as everyone's like into it in height order.
Oh.
So every time Jake and I do a haunted house, I am first.
I see.
And so that is very funny to me because sometimes you'll get a cast member who will be like essentially trying to hold you in one room while the group in front of you gets through the room. And I had one recently where it was myself, Jake, and Jake's large brother, like just a very muscular, tall man. And he, at one point, the scare actor is holding us and he's like, "So you're the brave one, huh?" And I'm like, "I'm just short, you know? I'm just short, man. I don't know." But yeah, so I think it would be like Rowan, Kraft, Connor. And I think Kraft's reaction would be inappropriate laughter a lot of times. Yeah.
But she'd also be obviously blazed out of her mind.
Oh, of course. I would not recommend doing a haunted house high, just saying.
Do you guys know that they've added a fourth one? So it's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
You're right.
I did
I
know
thought
that.
you were going to say...
I wasn't making a joke. I was just
That's
serious.
true.
I know.
That's not the F I thought you were going to say. Fuck!
Fuck!
What is it? Because it's funny that there's 4, because I think there's 4 in like the base things that a living creature does, like feed, family, whatever it is. And it's just funny that you said that. So I'm like, oh, the last one's fuck, right?
Yeah, naturally.
Do you think, Brandon, that Connor would sort of like think he was intellectually beyond being scared, but then like really believe in the fiction, like when a friend who is very rational is very into close-up magic?
Yes.
Hey.
I think I like that. What, Julia? We weren't talking
I
about
wasn't
you or
talking about you,
anything. It's fine.
genuinely.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I do like that. I think that he would be he'd be like, come on.
And then screaming.
Yeah.
through the
And then
house.
screaming the whole time. Even between doors, just screaming.
And then afterward, we would look behind us. We're like debriefing after the haunted house, and Connor's like back on the line again.
That's good.
Eric, what do you think would happen to Rick Powers' body in a haunted house? Like, would his powers adapt to the perceived threat?
Ooh.
Great question. Rick Powers is not allowed to go into any horror movie or haunted house because his powers activate, and he's okay with it.
Cool.
Damn, now I feel a little sympathetic.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about like a startup or something that would make either like, I'll say it's personal devices because that's more consensual, but like maybe there's like a wristband that you can buy that like you can like consensually turn off your powers for a little bit of time or something, you know?
That sounds interesting. I was just thinking about like when people eventually get like chips in their brain, and it's like there's a whole thing where it's like, oh, I can't put myself into stressful situations anymore because my chip freaks out. It's like, you idiot, you dumbass. That's what you get for buying a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to people in the Discord talking about how everyone is coming on Brandon and my train that Rick Powers is a big doofus who's the best.
No.
Yeah.
You say
No.
everyone.
Rick Powers rules. Rick Powers rules.
I love Rick Powers. He's my favorite NPC by far, and I just like the fact that I got the chance to do this and see this with like him saying, "Rowan, what is your problem?" and him trying to help the whole time and you not letting him was just like really fun.
It was a really good character moment. I'm glad we got that too.
And the fact that he by the end of the episode, whatever Rick wanted to do didn't happen, which is awesome. Like the arc is over and Rick didn't get to do the thing that he wanted.
Yeah, I was fully just not letting him derail the situation with the ooze and with the turning off of the water. I was not going to let that happen.
Yep. Oh, I forgot to say, I don't know if I said on microphone, but related to the end of the arc here, my final project, I was going to fail intentionally
Just to see with
Really?
to see
Wow.
what happens to my ranking.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Mm.
Eric kind of ruined my whole plan there by like making it.
making the
Not-
school get
Oh,
closed.
Eric
Yeah.
did? The guy who wrote notes about having a restorative arc of Dr. Ram going around to people who the institution has helped. Eric ruined it?
Yeah, Eric.
That
kinda
sounds
did.
lovely.
Yeah, sorry, there's no representatives available about it. So yeah.
Ah, nuts.
I'm going to read the summary that I wrote. Because you're supposed to write like an arc summary for yourself, like if you were summarizing the arc of a comic book. Moonboot is trying to help lower level villains from being under the thumb of Fatberg. Of course, Fatberg is a few steps ahead since he's told all of them about why Moonboot got kicked out of his old team in the greater LTC area. Boost. Someone who's also aware of Moonboot, City Council Representative Maze Myers, breakfast entrepreneur and keeper of secrets under that smile. He's showing up to the final project so Jupiter, and maybe New York State at large, doesn't lead too hard on powered kids.
Hmm?
We didn't do any of that shit.
Interesting.
We didn't do any of that. Literally none.
Interesting. How about poker instead?
How about poker with adults?
How about a wasp in a jar?
How about a poop kraken?
Poop Kraken.
All right, folks, couple more questions here. One from Terentium2. What weird ice cream flavor would your characters get? Now, I think we talked about summer flavors back in our first arc, but I would like now here in the chilly months, I would like to know what fall/winter seasonal specials your characters would be into. I'll
Leaves.
start. Sorry?
Leaves.
Say more. Leaf ice
Oh,
cream?
Brandon, you're like there's a guy on TikTok who like makes ice cream out of like any one specific tree at a time.
Yeah, and he did the Bradford pear once, and he
He did.
said,
Oh,
"This is
no,
the grossest
come ice
thing I've
cream?
ever eaten."
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, leaves. Yeah, for sure. Like the guy on TikTok.
No, that wasn't a real one, Amanda. I was one of the yell leaves.
No, I have no notes on the yelling of leaves. I just more wanted to get deeper into that.
I had a apple sorbet from Camp-Paign, which is one of like the really buzzy ice cream places here in New York City. It was white and it looked like a granita, but it also tasted like steeped apple cider. And I still have no idea how they did it, and it was incredible.
Sounds really good.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So give me that apples, folks. Give me them apples.
Mine would be like wood smoke vanilla.
Oh,
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. I'm
it
into
just sounds like a good thing.
Oh, that's an NPC you haven't met yet.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah. I think Rowan's would be like caramelized onion and you'd put it on a latke.
Oh, I'm into that.
Okay.
My friend just went to a multi-course dinner where one of the meals was like, it was like a fish dish with like a savory ice cream.
Mm.
So it was like a
Ooh.
hot, cold, savory ice cream thing.
Whoa.
That sounded really good. But I recently made a apple ice cream. So it was like a cinnamon pie crust base with cider caramel, like a streusel thing in there, and little apple cubes. It's real good. Oh, apple butter too.
Brandon, how dare you live a 6-hour flight away?
Rude, honestly.
Brutal.
So that's good.
What kind of ice cream do you think Team Cast would like? Atomic purple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those Superman ice creams, you know, where you're like, who cares what the flavor is? It's just bright.
Mhm.
Oh, that's making me think of a Team Cast ice pop from like an ice cream man. You know how the Ninja Turtle ones would always have like the eyes melting and it's like quite cursed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Team Cast one would just be a cube. It would be like a cube on a popsicle stick, like a cake pop.
I like that.
I like it.
That's a good
fun.
idea.
And our final question here is from Epi. Speaking of and harkening back to our higher education conversation, what degree would your characters get if they went to college?
See, now that I've said it, ethics in mad science, I think, is something that if Kraft continues on this state of like trying to better herself as a person and trying to, you know, come out from the shadow of who her father is,
Yeah,
that might be an option.
it's really good.
Philosophy with ethics and supervillain concentration.
Yeah.
I think Rowan would do classics, you know, like ancient literature and maybe some kind of wild minor like astrophysics or something.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Just a little sousson of astrophysics.
Mhm.
Just a little. Connor?
Communications, one, because it makes sense, but also because that's the, no offense to anyone out there who got a communications
My mother,
degree.
continue.
Val is so insulted.
But that seems like the default degree if you're not sure what you want to do.
I could see him doing like not public relations. I'm trying to think. There was a degree that you could get at my school back in the day that was essentially like if you wanted to be a foreign diplomat, that's the degree you would get.
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah, like
Mm.
international relations.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
Wow.
Mm.
for sure.
That's wild.
Yeah, but Connor doesn't even know like what other countries there are. So
I like the idea of Connor doing like like when you get like a business management undergraduate degree, or you go to like the hotel management school at Cornell.
Ooh,
It's like,
hospitality.
yeah. He's gonna work at Heroes for Hire. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Wow,
it.
that took me back. I know someone who applied to that program.
Wow.
All right, folks, as we wind down this lovely after party and inject our final Cheez-It Puffs with our final bits of queso, any predictions about what might happen next?
oh,
No, I'm just so excited.
I'm excited for when it's revealed that Wordsmith was indeed on the Ooze and Fatberg side the whole time, and Brandon's / Connor's idea is vindicated, validated, and he becomes the big bad.
It's just so funny that like an adult does not agree with you 100%, and Connor's like, he's a villain.
Has to be
I knew
evil.
it the entire time.
Show me the lie. So relatable.
What about you, Amanda?
I don't have any predictions. I know what's gonna happen next.
I think that Voidy Lynn will be more powerful than ever because her wish
She was
for
fed.
them has been fulfilled.
Oh,
She's like a
interesting.
gremlin that you feed after midnight.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Amanda fed that gremlin.
I fed that gremlin, and I am nervous to see what happens next,
Yeah.
but in a good way.
Positive nervous.
Nervous, parentheses, anticipatory. All right, folks, that'll do it for us. Please keep telling us how you are feeling and what you're thinking and what you're looking forward to in our Discord and on our Patreon for free. Just follow us for free. If you're not chilling on social media, patreon.com/join the party. Until then, folks, check your basement, okay? Make sure there's no flood down there.
Oh.
Check it out. If there is, call a certified plumber.
Mm-hmm.
And not the overachieving seniors in your local high school.
True.
They don't know how to deal with Kraken.
No, they
do not.
don't.
They do not. All right, players, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
May your rolls trend ever upward.